Hello and welcome to my Jeans Paper Jewels channel. Today I'm sharing the card that I made for Craft Roulette episode 332. The guest was a Bitty Penny. They came live from Kansas City where they were doing their Craft Roulette live event. So it was a little bit different, but they still spun Mr. Wheel and they came up with a square card with excited colors, country as the element, and frame or frames as the random. Now I made a 4 1/4 square card, so that certainly fit the first project parameter. To make the square card, I started out with an 8 1/2 by 4 1/2, no, 8 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of early espresso. I scored it at 4 1/4 and folded it in half. You can either have a top fold, side fold, whatever you want. I have a top fold for my card. Now for excited colors, I chose this Hydrangea Hue and the Golden Globe and the Peaceful Pine, these pretty colors that remind me of fall. And if you're like me, I am so excited for fall to get here because it's been kind of a hot summer around here. So these colors are truly exciting. Now for the element of country, I have the 100 Acre Woods embossing folder. And then of course Pooh and his friends come from outside in the country. So this embossing folder, look how big it is, was perfect for the background. Now if you notice in my card, it has a little bit of color added to it, and I'll show you how I did that. Now before I forget, the good thing about these square cards, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, is they will still fit in a regular A2 envelope. So in the United States, if you try to mail a square card, it costs extra postage. So these will fit in a medium envelope just fine. So that's a good deal when you're making square cards. You don't have to worry about extra postage or anything like that. Now for the last parameter of frame or frames, there is a little frame around this cutout of Pooh and his friends, and I used the Silly Old Bear Designer Series paper, and this paper has so many things you can cut out on it, and this was the panel I used. This one is cut off on one side because I've already cut it to use it, but I have this nice panel of stripes ready to use. So for frame, I also have my little 3 banner punch in here that says happy birthday. I edged it with a Golden Glow shimmer brush, so that counts as frame too. And you see this little piglet, that is in the Designer Series paper as well. So it's a fun set. The Silly Old Bear products are in the online exclusives part of my online store. So although this card doesn't take very much explanation, I thought I'd show you just a couple of things. After I embossed the Hydrangea Hue panel, I decided to give it a little more depth by adding some Hydrangea Hue ink with a blending brush, and it just brings out the embossing quite well. So all you do is rub your blending brush into the ink pad. I usually tap it off a bit so that I don't get a blob. And I usually start off the paper. And see how that's picking up the raised portions of the embossing folder? It just gives it a little bit more depth and personality, and it's so easy to do. So I recommend that you do that with some of your embossing folders. It really does add some pizzazz. So that's all I did to this 4x4 panel that's embossed, and added it onto my card with liquid glue. Because it's embossed, I have found that glue holds better for me than using any other type of adhesive. So I use my Tombow multi-purpose glue and added it to the front panel of the card. So I'm not going to demonstrate the whole card today, but I thought I'd show you a few things. So this Tombow works pretty good around here in humid North Carolina. So it doesn't take a whole lot, but it helps to hold it down so that you don't have to worry about it coming up when you mail it. So let me make sure that I have the right portion up, and I just center this 4x4 panel on the 4¼ inch square card, and that was all there was to it. It's already coming to life. So I cut out another little panel that I thought would be good. So then I just centered this. I popped it up on dimensionals in the middle of the card. That's another must-have, Stampin' dimensionals, right? Any kind of easy foam pop-up dots are handy to have. So I use a lot of these things. Then I find the little wrappers all over, the little liners all over the place. Okay, did I get them all? All but one. Then I just centered it on the card, and see, it already has a frame around it, so that fit that parameter of frame. Then I just tucked a few leaves and an acorn. This Sweet Words and Labels dies is what I used to cut out the designer series paper, but it also has some leaves and some little acorns that really are cute on the project. So look at this little acorn. How cute is it? Okay. Anyway, I won't finish it, but the last thing, one of the last things I did was add some of this Mossy Meadow Gingham ribbon, and it's this won't be available until the new catalog comes out September 1st, but this is a nice ribbon because it really is flexible and it ties so nicely, and it's a gorgeous fall color, gorgeous color anyway. And then I finished it off with some of these 26 through 28 in color dots. So I'll finish this card up and show you all later. But I hope you'll join us for Craft Roulette sometime. It airs on YouTube on Friday evenings at 6:10 Central Time with a slideshow of the previous week's submissions. And then at 6:30 Central Time, the guest comes on with Mary Gunn, and then they spin Mr. Wheel to select the 4 parameters So my fifth parameter of making sure that I have something to do with the card this time is fulfilled by making it a birthday card. So I will send this out as a birthday card, and I know it will delight the recipient because who doesn't like Winnie the Pooh? But this episode was fun, FUNN, Craft Roulette style, as they always are. So I hope you join us in the chatterbox sometime, and then give it a try and submit your own card. So thanks for joining me today. Have a good one. Bye.